Good morning, everyone. It's Janet here at Emerald Gypsy Arts. I'm glad you could join me for another video. I really don't have anything planned to do in this video. This is more a chit-chat video, but we'll be looking at a couple of things. Coffee's hot and strong and delicious today. I hope you all have a cuppa of your choice. A couple of things I wanted to talk about very briefly today. First, I wanted to show you, do you remember I told you I would show you what the paper towel Mod Podged and glued, the mixture that I use, thanks to Wendy suggesting mixing the two. But water, a little bit of Mod Podge and glue, although you can use water and glue. The mod is really unnecessary in a lot of cases. I just use the clear Elmer's glue, which I love, love, love. But this is an actual piece of paper towel. Come on, the light is a bit glary. There we go. And so with paper towel, it's very hard to get totally straight. I tried a couple places where you just pull a tiny bit towards the outside edge, but the possibility of ripping is really high. So I like to me it gives it texture, and it's not a gloss finish with the glue, which I love. And so I've been tearing pieces off of this to do things with on ephemera and things like that. But I told you I'd show you the paper towel, and I really like that. So we'll be talking about that again in a minute in relation to something else. Now, when I showed you the napkin, the way to do decoupage with napkins, I said I'd show you once the music one was dry, and there it is. You can see the music right through the napkin. The plain part of the napkin gets very translucent, so that anything you put it on, unless it's blending in the same colors, shows through the napkins when you decoupage them on. And it's just a beautiful effect. I mean, to me that is absolutely gorgeous with the music showing through. And with the old books of music, it doesn't really matter which piece it is. I mean, I try and go for the ones without any words, you know, for really important or commissioned pieces. And the rest I use any of it, because it's just it all looks, to me, that looks beautiful with the music behind it. So that's the music. Now, I have a funny story to tell, very quick. I opened the camera yesterday to make a page, or to make a video for you guys, and I had plans to do a casual collage in my casual collage book. So I did, and it was an excellent video, lots of fun chit chat, a couple of funny spots. You know, I'm a natural born klutz, so there's always going to be the possibility of some funny Charlie Chaplin moments. But I ended up making this page. There we go. I think that lettering is gold, in case you can't see it on the camera. It's printed in gold, but I thought that turned out really kind of cool. I like it, right? And then I say goodbye to you guys, and I turn around, and the camera's been off the whole time. I must have hit the wrong button, whatever. I've been doing videos for like 4 or 5 years now, and that's happened to me about once a year for the whole time. So I had this awesome collaging video I did with you guys, and it's gone. So never was there, actually never was there. So yeah, such is life, right? Now for crafters, you know, unless you're doing commercial stuff, crafting, it can be fun. You take your time and so on, but sometimes you're making a gift for someone, or you're making a bunch of Christmas gifts or something, or you just want to have some things made ahead of time so you can just kind of grab them. I noticed that a lot of crafters / artists tend to keep a binder or folders or whatever with some things divided. I showed you the one I have, the big binder with, you know, my tags are in one pocket and old antique photos in another, things like that. So I tend to separate them off that way. But you can make things ahead of time that you can just pull apart and use. Like this, it was 2 big sheets from an A5 book, you know, a middle torn out sheet. You can tell by the sewing there. It's that I love using that linen from those hand leather journals I showed you. It's very heavy. It's not suitable to me for pen and ink, but it does take watercolor very well and glue and things like that. But it's beautiful linen paper. Anyway, you can make extra sheets of this and then just tear pieces off because it tears really well because it's paper. So when you need it for ephemera or, you know, something that you want to decorate, then you've got sheets ready to go. The same with this kind of thing. Whatever napkins you have, you can decoupage them. I'll probably make 2 or 3 pages like this. And then what I'll do is end up using the butterfly or a piece of the flower and so on. And it's there ready for you to use. Now, there's a phrase some journalists use called a master sheet, but I believe that's for those that can photocopy their sheets as a master piece. But these, I've been making these ephemera pieces. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's all the way over here and all the way over here. And it doesn't look like much there, including the old school notes and things. See, I've got a lot of different things on there. So what I did was you take a bunch of torn out pages from your reconstructed books and you start to glue things on as though you're making a giant ephemera. But this will be, like the last number of times, this will be torn up, cut up, and made into book-size ephemera for my various journals and so on. So this is, you can make things ahead of time that will save you time. If they're not, you know, if what you're making is not like a sentimental journey or whatever, then you can have things made ahead of time to make your life a little easier. And I did want to show you another piece of, well, I guess it's ephemera, but it's going to be a journaling card. That's going to be a plain surface to journal on. But this is to late last night's work. So this is from a almanac that's from 1882, I believe, and it's the real deal. That's why I didn't bother to coat the paper in any way, so that I can feel the fact that it's an old piece of an actual almanac. So that was last night's fun. You can also make background pages ahead of time. You just you watercolor a bunch of pages, and I'm not saying these will all be used, or you know, all of each page will be used or anything, but it gives me material to work with instead of taking the time to paint it right then and there when I'm making whatever it is. This gives me a chance to keep on moving forward, because once you're in momentum with some art and so on, it's hard to stop. It feels really good just to keep going. So when you can reach out and tear something off, or like I've cut out a bunch of ads and so on from that same almanac, because these are awesome. They're so old, and oop, can't see it. Okay, things like that. Like this sheet of paper, you know, is 140 years old. So you can see the edges and so on. It's very fragile, but I cut a bunch out so that I can add them to what I'm doing in the next couple of days. All right, so I showed you everything. I love this. I absolutely love the paper towel. And it's really strong. I mean, it makes it very sturdy, you know. I bet if you used one of the products that talks about its strength, like Bounty or whatever, I'm not pushing a product because I don't. Anyway, but the paper towels that talk about being locked in and, you know, fabric and strength and so on would make excellent background sheets done this way. Just excellent. And today, I did want to talk a little bit about sketchbooks, because sketchbooks to an artist are like coming home. They're like, and the strangest part is that if you're new to art or you want to try drawing or whatever, please don't hesitate. Just do it, Don't hesitate. Get yourself a sketchbook you like and do it. And I think all artists go through, I mean, there are certain sketchbooks I don't want to work in. Like this linen paper, I love to write in it as a diary, but I don't particularly like doing art on it. The watercolor seems to work well. It bleeds a little bit, not through to the back, but along the page. I haven't tried acrylic in it. I don't really use acrylic in the journals, but I don't like this for sketching in watercolor. I really don't like that paper. My favorite sketchbooks are from Book Depository, and they're just basic sketchbooks. I do something with the front cover and so on, but this is the next new one. I'm just starting a new one. I just finished my old sketchbook, but this is my newest one now. It's going to be started today. And those are my favorite brand of sketchbook. And I probably have 24 different kinds of sketchbooks that I've started. And there's certain things I like to do in certain ones. Like I have one that is all doodles and stuff. And then I use my my Moleskine for art pages, journaling, and art journals and stuff. So yeah, so different paper for different things. I happen to like these books the best for sketching, and I did show you my last Inktober run. So this is in one of these books, and I love sketching in them. I absolutely love it. But I do believe that everybody who wants to draw should try different size sketchbooks too. Try the bigger ones. It's a lot of page to fill, but oh my goodness, it can be rewarding. And especially if you're sketching at different times and you put a number of different sketching times on one page, you see the things side by side, and you see your technique and things like, it's just wonderful. But I also think everybody should have a little small sketchbook, and even one smaller than this. There are artists use tiny ones, right? Tiny ones. But this is one of my small sketchbooks. I think I've shown it before. I'm not sure. It's nothing. These are just simple sketches that I've done. That one, I don't know what happened with that. I was trying out the newest fan brush that I had got for the trees and so on. I don't know if you can see that really well, but I got to get new lighting here. So I've been sketching in this little tiny book. I love this. One of the Weeping Angels. Some faces. Pumpkin for Halloween. And that's it for that book so far. But I truly feel that everybody should try the different sizes, because otherwise we get stuck in the same dimensions, and that's like living in the same amount of space your whole life. And I think that branching out is a tremendous thing to do now. I'll be honest with you, not very many of my sketchbooks are strictly pen or strictly pencil. Most of them involve watercolor, because I tend to color my, as you saw, I tend to color my images because I love watercolor so much. I really do. So do what you want in your sketchbooks. There are no hard and fast rules. If you want super hard or super firm watercolor paper, that's a different kind of sketchbook. That's I think 200 GSM or greater for heavy duty watercolor paper. These are not anywhere near that. These are basically pencil sketchbook books, pencil or pen, and the paper isn't thick. But it also never runs. It doesn't bleed through. It's white, which I like. I love Moleskine books, but I don't like the fact they're vanilla color or cream color. I don't like working on cream at all. Yet I like working on the brown paper, the craft paper color books, and the black sketchbooks. So go figure, eh? But this one is my favorite as far as sketching. It's a sewn binding. It's wonderful. They're reasonable. They're from Book Depository. I pay, I think, $11, $12 Canadian, so even less in American. So, and free shipping, always from Book Depository, always.com. So that's basically my video for today. Just talking about a couple of things. I am enjoying this interaction videos again, because I had been hesitating on Life on the Half Shell. I hope that you're enjoying it. I hope that we can do some live chats soon so that everybody can art together. But for now, I'm going to try and bring you videos as often as I can. Have a terrific week ahead, and I will see you on the next video.